Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new live stream. This is Niu Niu with Una and Huangyue behind the camera. Yes, I'm wearing a mask. No, it's not because of the COVID-19, but because I am standing right in the center of a desert, the Taklamakan Desert, 塔克拉玛干沙漠. You might find it a little bit strange that instead of sandy after sandy kind of sand, you are looking at a little bit of plant, probably a lot of electric poles. Feel like not the kind of place that are let's say scarce with population, but this is all due to the effort of local people generation after generation and making this place much less, let's say, wild and deserty like, but a little bit towards the human society and human civilization. Actually, what we are standing here right now is the Taklamakan Desert, and as you can see, the sand right next to me is really fine sand, so it can be really dusty and sandy, which is why all three of us are wearing masks, and we are getting a little bit allergy already. But judging by the sand, you will know I'm not lying about this place being a desert. And since this is the largest desert in China and second largest shifting sand desert in the world, this place used to be a place that in the Uyghur language is the place that you can get in, but it's impossible to get out. It is also called the Sea of Death. And now you can see, at least right next to the high expressway, right next to where humans have put tiny little villages in, we've got forestation. We've got a little bit plantation to solidate the sand so we can put the electric pole in, and we can have, most importantly, signal for me to do live streams for you. So if you want to see what a real, let's say, very wild kind, no human interruption kind of desert, you can move your eyes towards far away. See those area. The yellow sandy with the fine sand and the moving, let's say, sand dunes, those tiny area, you can zoom it up. That would be what a real desert is like. So yes, today we are doing a live stream here in the Taklamakan Desert, the biggest and most let's say, important in a lot of different aspects kind of place, and we want to cover this in our traversing Xinjiang trip, because this is the kind of landscape that you won't be able to see in other places. So yes, please let me know if you're getting all of this, if my voice and the picture is clear enough. Please give me a note, probably some message in the comment area to let me know whether or not you're seeing this. Yes, I'm saying hello to John. John saying good morning from Texas. Good morning to you. It's nighttime here in Xinjiang already. It's around 8 o'clock. And actually, I think with around half an hour, we would lose the sunlight. But still, this is a vast and the kind of place that you feel the insignificance of human beings. So yeah, desert, strange but kind of cool place. So thank you for joining us. Hello, Kevin. Kenneth saying, Kenneth and 18 other people are watching with you. I guess these are the friends of mine who are watching the live stream. Thank you. And also I am saying hello to Alita, saying audio and visual are good. Great. Thank you so much for giving me that information. As always, for our live streams, you can always ask questions and leave your thoughts in the comment area. If you have any questions, also leave it in the comment area as long as I know them. Even though I'm not really a desert expert, I would try to answer them as soon as possible. At the same time, for our friends on Learn Chinese Facebook page, you can also ask questions related to the Chinese language. For example, desert, 沙漠, desert, 沙漠. It is a very, I would say, vivid way to describe a desert, because sha is the sand. Mo carries the meaning of somewhere that is not conducive, not suitable for plants or for animal. It's the kind of place that has little let's say rainfall, and it makes people think that it's not an inhabitable place. So 沙漠 would be a not encouraging environment with a lot of sand, hence desert. So 沙漠. I am saying hello to Liam, saying 你还有好多阳光，这里好黑暗. Are you talking about the time of the sunset? Yes, here in Xinjiang, actually, the sun sets a little bit later than, let's say, comparing to Beijing. Probably during 8 or 9 o'clock, you can still see some sunlight, but we've already witnessed a very beautiful sunset. I'm saying it beautiful because I've never seen anything like this, but you're not missing out too much. It's kind of like an egg yolk getting down behind a mountain, a sandy mountain. So yes. We have Selden saying, where are you just now? I am right now standing in Xinjiang in the Taklamakan Desert. It is the largest desert here in China and the second largest shifting sand desert in the world. A shifting sand desert is the kind of desert that you see the sand dunes are moving around with the help of some wind power. They move around, they erode the, let's say, plantation you have just built, and it is really hard for people to do forestation in these kind of desert. And also it can be quite dangerous if you want to, let's say, have an adventurous kind of journey and get across to Taklamakan Desert. I do have a little bit of tip for you to do that, but the biggest one, most significant one is don't do it without preparation or without professional help. So remember that. At the same time, I'm saying hello to a friend's name I do not know how to pronounce. Sorry for that, but you have a very lovely blue hat. Happy that you're joining the live stream. And I'm saying hi to Ismail, saying you look like you're in my country, Sudan. Aw, so you recognize a desert, right? Because for me, it's the first time I've been into a desert, and I feel like this is not the desert I had in mind, especially with a lovely name, Taklamakan, meaning a place you can get in but you cannot get out. I was picturing sands all over the place, not any green at all, and I was picturing no sign of water and definitely not all these electric poles and also cables. But after standing here with proper internet signal for a little bit more than 10 minutes, I realized how important and how difficult and challenging it is to transform this place into, now to remind you that you're actually in the biggest desert in China. So I know for a fact that there are around 20,000 people living here, and over 90% of them are, let's say, migrant population. They don't stay here forever for the rest of their lives. They come here, do the construction, be local people for a period of time, and then they move on to the next phase of their journey. Hi guys, sorry for the interruption. I guess I'm still in a desert. I'm not having the perfect internet signal, but it's good enough for me to do the live stream with a tiny bit of interruption. So please stay with us and bear with the tiny interruptions. Do note that I'm in the middle of Taklamakan Desert, and so yes, be a little bit more forgiving than the unforgiving sandy desert area. Thank you for being here. This is Niu Niu with Huang Yue and Una behind the camera. Today, all of us are wearing masks because it is really sandy, and as I have just shown you a little bit like for 5 minutes ago, the sand is very, very fine. Actually, I kind of like the texture. I want to grab a box of sand back home for Nike because I believe he'll love it, but still I don't think it's really good for our respiratory system, so we're all wearing masks. And if you're wondering where this place is, it is the Taklamakan Desert, and the county we're in is called Tazhong. If you know the Chinese name of Taklamakan, it'll be Takelamagan, and Ta is the first character, whereas Zhong in Chinese carries the meaning of in the middle of something. So Tazhong actually means in the middle of the Taklamakan Desert. This is a tiny little town placed right in the middle of Taklamakan Desert, and it has over 20,000 population, with 90% of them being migrant population. So they're here constructing, trying to make the environment a little bit better, and then they move on to the next stage of their lives. Very cool, and I think kind of beautiful. And in this situation, actually previously, there has been a song singing about the Tazhong counties. The song goes like 没有花草，没有绿树，没有毡房，没有村落. So 没有花草 means no flowers and grass, no green trees, no yurts, and no villages or counties at all. But it's no longer the situation here in Taklamakan, thanks to the hard working of the possibly 90% of migrating people and 10% of local villagers. And I was just trying to ask you guys, do you know what are those white/gray and yellow straws in the sand are? And if you can take a look at this tiny, I'll say, road, or this a little bit parallel lines, you can guess what they are, and we can move along a little bit to see that. We know that seen from the air, Tazhong is like an isolated island in the sandy sea of no return, or sea of death. It connects the northern and southern part of the Tarim Basin. To the south, the Tan leads to two major Silk Road trading posts, Qiemo and Hotan counties. Meanwhile, to the north, it leads to Aksu and Clora, the pear and apple cities, and to the inland of China. And, okay, so like I was saying, previously, for people to travel across the Taklamakan Desert, they have to do a lot of preparation, hire a very experienced caravan, and probably prepare the amount of water they need and double it and double it and double it so that it's actually adequate. But nowadays, with the help of this little isolated island, Tazhong, in the middle of the Taklamakan Desert, it's easier for people to travel, and we even have a expressway. If we go a little bit further to the expressway, you guys would be able to see it. That is called Shamuo Gonglu, a desert expressway. That is the way that you can and you kind of have to travel if you want to go through or go across the Taklamakan Desert. For many people, it would be a very beautiful journey. They can wear according to Huang Yue, the professional photographer, a beautiful long red dress, stand in the middle of nowhere taking pictures, and easily within the, let's say, distance of 5 or 10 minutes walking, get back in their cozy car, get on the expressway, and return to the modern society. And I personally think it's quite amazing. If you guys have any comments, you can leave it in the comment area, and let's see. I'm seeing a lot of you guys watching with me, but I'm not getting enough comments. I'm curious of why is that. If you like the live stream, please follow China Plus America first, and then give me some comments about what you want to know about. And we have Elita telling me the audio is good, thank you. And we have Joe saying hello from Connecticut. Hello, Rob. Hello to Danny. Danny saying too much talk. I can fix that. That's easy to fix. And Alita saying good morning from South Texas. Hello to you too. Rob saying watching from Illinois in the Midwest USA. Always a pleasure. And we have Priscilla saying stay safe. Thank you so much. This is actually a very lovely message. And we were actually planning to have a desert camping. We were planning to find a real desert area with no trees at all and of course, no electric poles, and start camping there. But I have to tell you, it's not, let's say, a very easy to do things. The reason we get to do that, and probably will do it tonight, is because we have a huge supporting team. We have a very complete plan and an very comprehensive preparation. So I'm not encouraging you to do that. At the same time, lovely message from our friend saying, stay safe. Thank you so much. It is getting dark. Probably we will have to end the live stream sooner than we expected. But thank you so much for giving me that information and saying watching with you and saying stay safe. Thank you so much. James saying, love the desert. If it's shifting, I'm guessing it's windy too. That is a very smart guess. It's really quite windy. And the wind is the main power for the sand domes to move around. And that is also the reason why it's super difficult to make this place not a desert. From the beginning, I was like, should we, let's say, fix the desert problem and plant trees and probably, I don't know, get some water from the sea and move them into the desert. And then I realized desert is actually a very important part of the ecosystem. It's one of the most diverse ecosystems in the world. And in a desert, you would find plants and animals. I think it's the second largest ecosystem, let's say comparing or next to the rainforest. So for a desert, it's vital to have desert in the world to maintain other ecosystems. And the things that we do is to make it a little bit habitable if people need to move around, and also build, or let's say plant, these tiny little plants on the sand. You can see we pointed out just now the horizontal lines and also the net of plants. With these net of plants, we get to keep the sand where they are, or at least in the deeper area of the desert, without disrupting the ecosystem of the desert, but also improve the environment alongside the expressway. We were actually traveling on expressway. We will show you guys in later videos and pictures posted on China Plus, as well as Learn Chinese Facebook page. Make sure you stay tuned. But in a nutshell, all these places can be quite dusty, and if the sand flow onto the expressway, cars would not be able to pass, and the only thing you can do is to sweep or blow the sand back into the desert, and then cars would be able to pass through. But that maintenance work is also some hard work, and there are people devoting their lives into doing that, so that's quite impressive. And if you would have guessed, or if you can take yourself back in time to, I don't know, 1,000 years ago, back onto the Silk Road. Oh yeah, let's see, that's the expressway. And that is the car passing through. It's getting really dark. Probably you guys are having a little bit problem seeing all this. Don't worry about it. We'll make them into video stories as well as pictures on our pages, so you won't miss it. But back to what I was saying, if you can think or take your back in time to around 1,000 years ago, thinking of yourself as a merchant traveling along the Silk Road, trading goods from your own hometown to faraway places. You have camels that will help you get through the desert, but it can still be quite difficult, and you're traveling in the desert for quite a long time. That is the moment that you'll believe in super higher powers, at least higher than yourself. And that is why the Taklamakan Desert, as well as let's say counties surrounding it, are also places that are, let's say, nourished or conducive to different kinds of religions. We know that from the very beginning, Buddhism has been the main religion here in Xinjiang, or here in at least the southern part of the autonomous region. And later on, people started to convert or shift to Islam. And now for many, especially migrant ethnic groups, minority ethnic groups, Islam is their main religion. And after being here, I totally understand the, let's say, nudge at the very beginning for them to shift themselves, to convert or practice, because in a deserted area, it really is convincing, and the feeling of a higher power is also making itself much more real than ever. And another thing is that if you still remember Huang Yue's comment about wearing a red dress and getting a beautiful picture in the desert, you would also image or imagine that local people here have a very flourishing sense or aesthetic kind of way when they are looking at beauty. They would dress themselves into very bold colors and they find beautiful patterns and they decorate their houses with flowers. They decorate themselves with beautiful dresses, because living in a place where you can find the insignificance, you can feel the insignificance of human being, would actually make you love your life a little bit more. And yes, I am looking at some comments at the same time. We have Lynn saying very interesting topic, great to watch, thank you so much. And we have Willett saying 你好, 你好 to you too. I'm saying 你好 in 沙漠, remember 沙漠, desert, 沙漠. We have Muhammad watching from Nairobi. Hi, hello to have you here. What is the natural environment in your place? You can leave it in a comment area. We have Cam Sa watching from Sham State. Happy to have you. And Cloudy saying nice hello from East Quebec. Ooh, that's so cool. That's in Canada, right? If not, please correct me. Do correct me. And hello to Nicola saying good morning, and send to Joe saying you're beautiful. Really? You can judge under the mask? Thank you. That is very sweet of you and probably just very kind of you. And we have Tojo watching from London. Happy to have all of you here. If you have any questions, even a kind of question that's asking how are you from Robil, I am very well, thank you so much. It's a little bit dusty, which is why I'm wearing a mask, but it's getting a little bit scary also in the desert. If you look around, you would see the plants are starting to look like monsters. 你看，就是像不像怪兽? They're starting to look like monsters and snakes, and I believe there are snakes in the desert and also in faraway places. Now when you look at the sand, it's not hard to imagine that in ancient times there has been civilization, but the sand has buried everything and actually in a brutal but beautiful way preserved everything under the sand. Right here where we're standing, there has been an ancient civilization called the Jingjue Gucheng. The Jingjue Gucheng has been very advanced and developed, but since they are a sandy civilization, they live in a desert. After realizing that they cannot really fight against and win the battle against the sand or against the environment, they were buried, or let's say they walk into dark silently, gently. And for people who are interested in that part of the history, you can also go start in an adventure and go enjoy a professionally, let's say, Oh, that's very nice. Huang Yue is trying to give me some light. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if you guys can still see me. I know it's a little bit dark. Yes, I'm getting a little bit lighting, and probably you can see the background against. I am against. Okay, so thank you guys so much for giving this comments. We have friends saying, Nicholas watching from Amazonia in Brazil. Hey, that is what I was talking about in rainforest. 热带雨林 in Chinese. 热带雨林. 热带 would be tropical. 雨 is rain, and 林 is 森林, a forest. So rainforest is the most diverse kind of ecosystem in the world, and sand or desert is actually the second most diverse ecosystem on Earth. So sand or desert or sandy areas can be actually very important. But in order to make this place a little bit conducive to human beings, we have all the straws on the sand, and people have also found that they can actually live in areas like this, even though it's a little bit scary. Okay, so let's continue to walk. And let's see if you guys have any questions. You can leave it in the comment area. If not, you can appreciate the beautiful sand view in a nighttime. During night times, it can get really cold. Are we seeing anything at all?
My shadow.
Oh, huge shadow. Okay, like I was saying, if you want to have an adventure here in the deserted area, it can be quite dangerous, so make sure you do some preparation. But there has been a legend, let's say old wives' tale, spread it in this area. It's been said that there has been a supernatural being. He saw the hardship of people's work, so he decided that he'll help local people by his golden, let's say his golden key and his golden axe. And he gave his golden axe to the Kazakh ethnic group, or the Kazakh people, and they actually hexed a long, they split the mountain Altai and diverted water from the mountains to the fields. And the supernatural being was trying to use the key, the golden key, to help people living in the southern part of the Xinjiang Autonomous Region. However, his little daughter, his youngest daughter, stole the key and lost it. She was trying to help people as well. She didn't know her dad has a plan, so he just stole it and lost it. 他把钥匙弄丢了. The dad was super mad because that was the only golden key he has, and that was the only. Ooh, I see some. Did you guys see this? Yeah, some moths attracting to the light. Anyway, like I was saying, the golden key got lost, 金钥匙弄丢了, and the supernatural being was very angry, and he decided to kind of like imprison his daughter. And the way to do that is to create Taklamakan Desert. And he actually had his daughter imprisoned in the middle of the desert where no man has set foot in ever. I think the beautiful lady is still there, but we do not get to see her because we have already tried or made some compromise with the Taklamakan Desert. We are dealing with it in a peaceful manner, and we should not continue to disturb the supernatural being, in my opinion. So let's continue to walk a little bit towards the expressway. At the same time, if you really do have to make yourself a brave adventurous and come here. 我们从哪儿进来的? Okay, let's see. The reason that you might get lost or be endangered in a deserted area is maybe you're like me, who does not really know her way outside of a desert. And you can see that in here we can still see the several spots in the faraway places. Those are some lights constructed by local people to direct their ways. Other than that, it's actually very dark, and it gets that is the reason why, if you're planning on camping in a desert, make sure you do that before sunset. You give yourself enough time to build a camp in the desert. Otherwise, you will not be able to see anything. Just like for us right now, it's hard to see things. At the same time, pack enough water and have local people helping you direct the ways. And the last thing is to remember that during daytime, the temperature in a desert can be really high, up to 40 or even higher degrees Celsius. And during nighttime, it can drop to below 0 again, degrees Celsius, so it can be very cold. Make sure you bring enough clothes. And due to time limit and the fact that we can no longer see a lot of things, I guess I have to conclude today's live stream. But thank you guys so very much for being with us in this a little bit strange but definitely special kind of live stream. If you still have any questions, you can still leave them in the comment area. We will answer them, and we will bring you more video stories as well as pictures in our pages, 4 pages: China Plus America, China Plus News, China Plus South Africa, and of course CRI Learn Chinese Facebook page. Make sure you stay tuned, and in the future we'll still bring you all the unique landscape here in Xinjiang. Thank you so very much. See you next time. Bye bye.